So, one thing I remember about my grandmother, we used to go to her house every Sunday for Sunday dinner. Um, a lot of the time, my mother wasn't there because she had to work nights. So, me and my father and my brother would go, and everybody would be there, the entire family. And she had this big, grandiose fucking table, and we'd all congregate and have Sunday dinner, which is Sunday dinner for Italians is like 4 p.m. or more like it's more like 2 p.m. And, we'd all hang around and we'd have food, and my grandmother would cook a shitload of food, just an absolute shitload of food. So we'd have like the main course. It would be some sort of pasta, maybe sausage, and we'd have meatballs. So what she would do was she'd have the pasta in one big dish, and then she'd have like two separate dishes that were mixed. They were sausage and meatballs. And at my age, I didn't really like sausage so much, but I liked meatballs. So, me and my brother, along with my three cousins on the other side of the family, uh, we'd fight over who gets to have the meatballs. Like my dad would eat the sausage, and he'd grab a meatball or two, and I'd always try to grab like two or three meatballs and throw them in with my pasta. And she'd make all kinds of pasta, like linguine, penne, whatever she decided on that day. Um, but that was Sunday dinner, and then would come like you know the vegetables and stuff. Like she'd make like broccoli and like literally put cloves of garlic on it, and it wasn't like big cloves. It was like little tiny slices, and they were cooked to perfection. And she put them on the broccoli, and then like me and my cousin, uh, I'm not gonna use her name, but one of my cousins, she and I would fight over the broccoli because we both loved it. The garlic tasted so good on it, and we we'd figure it out. And see, my nana wasn't gonna make more. She wasn't gonna like go slave over like another dish because she already made 100 fucking things for us. And so we had to divvy it up. We had to figure it out. There was like there was the little kids table, so it was a small table, like off to the side. We were within earshot of everybody else, but it was a little table off to the side, and typically the kids sat there. Keep in mind, I was very young at the time. Even my brother was young at the time. And so between me and my brother and my three cousins on the other side, we had to like figure it out. Like there were only three spots because the table was against the wall. So it was like, all right, who's sitting at the adult table? Who's sitting at the, you know, obviously my brother got one of the adult spots, and sometimes I did, but because he was the oldest. Uh, but we divvied it up. Like we figured it out somehow every Sunday. And I miss that. I really do. My grandmother's no longer with us, and neither is her house. Her house got destroyed. That's a whole other story. How that happened? Because she had like a water pipe in her attic, which I guess is how they built the houses back then. I don't. But it ended up flooding the whole house, and so the house got destroyed. Whereas my father and my uncle were gonna like try to sell the house, and there was a point where like all five of us, me and my cousins and my brother, including my sister-in-law and nephew, were gonna like figure out a way to live there. Um, the house before that could happen, the house ended up getting destroyed, and I think somewhere up there, that was my grandmother's way of saying, you know, cut the shit. Like this isn't like an easy solution or a viable solution to the fact that you all need a place to live. So anyway, whatever it is, that happened. And I remember going over there. She calls. She goes, "Hey, can you paint my porch? Because it's like kind of crumbling apart and it's not looking good." And this is what's so funny. It's in the backyard. Like it's in the back of her house. No, who's gonna see this? I understand if she wants it to look good, but it's so funny. Um, so I went over there. This is when I like first had a car. I go over there, paint it white. It was like just a concrete, it was just concrete slabs. So I painted it white. She pays me, I don't know, like $20 or something. Um, and she goes, "Do you want to have lunch?" And I go, I kind of wanted to just paint it and go. And obviously she was a little offended at that, being Italian. Like she, she wanted to make me lunch. Um, and I should have taken her up on that offer. But instead, I was really craving Wendy's, so I unfortunately, and I don't know, I ended up taking the money and running and going to Wendy's, and that's a shitty thing to do. With this heritage, you're not supposed to, like those Sunday dinners. If you if you didn't finish what you were eating, you'd have to sneak it into my nana's sink, and then the investigation would start later. But if you came into the kitchen with like a plate with like that was like maybe even just a quarter full, and you hadn't eaten that the rest of it, she'd be like, "What are you doing?" She'd like send you back into the dining room and like make you finish your meal. And I'm sure my brother and my father and my mother can all attest to that. Like she'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like you get well, I made this. I slaved over this for you to just eat it." She was a character. She was fucking funny. She invited me over for sandwiches one day. She goes, "You want to come by and have a sandwich?" And this was like right before she passed away, but I went over and I had some sandwiches, and like, "Hey, I have another one. Make another sandwich." I'm like, I'm full. I can't eat anymore. She's like, "Oh, all right." And then I ended up talking to her about, like, I asked her about my grandfather and like how they had met, and that was a cool story. That honestly, I have a lot of anger towards my mother, but she's not dumb. She encouraged me to ask about my grandmother and my grandfather's marriage and how they came to be. And so that's what I did because at the time I was fucking dumb. Like I didn't know to I didn't know how to communicate with my grandparents. I didn't know how to communicate with anybody, really, at that time. But so I asked her about that, and she told me these stories, and now I have a lot of my grandfather's belongings. I wear his dog tags every day when I go out, every day that I work, because I'm like siphoning his, whatever strength he had in him before he passed away. And I have his ammo case with a lot of things in there, maps of Europe and when he served. Uh, yeah, it's nice to like tell stories about your life. For the few people that do watch these videos or listen to the ones where I leave the camera taped, it's I'm appreciative that people would listen to my stories. These are the kinds of things that matter. I don't know, I'll do a little bit of comedy sometimes. I'll read some poetry that might be deep or it might not. Whatever I do, I'm glad people listen to me. And like I said in the previous video, I don't know how many more of these I'm gonna make, because I'm getting launched soon, and I'm gonna end up like living in my car. So I gotta figure something out. Like Wi-Fi is not gonna work. I don't know how to get Wi-Fi. There's like this one place that I could park and sleep in my car and get away with it. Otherwise, I don't know where to get Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. So I might be off of YouTube for a while. I know nobody really cares. There's only like, what do I got, like 20 subscribers? I don't know. Uh, Trying to find a job anywhere I can. And, I don't know, I'll figure something out. We all survive at the end of the day. Somehow. Um, but yeah, just some stories about like growing up. Some like fun stories. I really miss my grandmother. And I know the rest of my family does too. Probably a lot more than me. Yeah.